Hey guys,
Okay, guys.
thanks for stopping in and checking me out. As you can see from the title, today is a little bit different. We're going to do a quick little DIY. I was in Hobby Lobby a few days ago and seen something that that I got for a really good deal, and I thought I could do something with. So I'm going to spin you around, let you guys see this. So I got these really cute vases from Hobby Lobby. This big one here was $1.99. Pan out a little bit so you can get a better feel for how big that is. Move that out of your way. Okay. This is a really nice size. $1.99 again, and I'll show with you in just a second why it was so cheap. So here's the second one. It was $1.19, and I'll let you see both of them side by side so you can get a feel for the difference in the two. It's got a really large crack in it, and it is cracked all the way through. Can you see that? It's cracked all the way through. Both are like that. There's the crack on the small one. And again, it is cracked all the way through. So we're gonna do a quick DIY attempt here. I've never done this before, never used this concrete before. But when I saw this for $1.99 and $1.19, I literally paid $3 and a few cents for both these. So I didn't want to pass that up. So I'll show you the rest of my supplies. I bought this ready to mix concrete. Now, if you want a super smooth concrete, I don't recommend this because this particular kind, and that's my fault, I didn't share with the employee in Lowe's what I was actually needing the concrete for, and this is what he recommended to me. I just told him I had a small job, but this had rocks mixed in it, and I actually had to strain the rocks out. Didn't want to go through the house or taking it back, so I decided to strain the rocks out and use it anyway. So that is the ready mixed concrete. And then I just got two little paint spatulas here, wall scrapers, whatever you want to call those. Some gloves, pardon my ashy hands. And once this all cures and dries, I do plan on, depending on how it looks, painting it matte black. So I do have this matte black paint from Krylon. And after we finish it, we'll determine whether I want to paint it or not. So again, I am in the garage, so excuse the background. I'm going to sit you guys up where you can see what I'm doing and not so much watch me. I've got my paint smock on here, so bear with me. Gloves on, and I've already mixed my concrete here, and I just put some water in that till it got the consistency that I wanted. So I did that off camera, and again I did have to strain the rocks out, and again I did that off camera as well. We're gonna start with this small one first. Let me take that price off. Okay guys, so this part here, I'm going to do a voiceover so you guys don't have to sit in dead silence while I work. This first time doing this, as I mentioned, so I was trying to concentrate on what I was doing. So here you can see me just giving a concrete another stir, as I had already mixed it off the camera. It's a really quick drying concrete, so it actually started to dry just a little bit. So here I am putting my first little bit on. I started with the spatula, but you can pretty quickly see me shift gears. I started just simply adding it with my hand. Using a couple different techniques here. Again, smearing it around with my hand. But again, pretty quickly learned that that was not the best technique here. I did mention that this was my first time doing this, so don't rake me over the coals, bear with me. And you'll see in the end that it actually turned out pretty good. So here I am just dipping my hands in the concrete mix and with my glove on. And just kind of patting that on, making it rather thick because it was cracked all the way through. So I did want to put that on a pretty substantial amount to help ensure that the planter wasn't going to crack on me later. So as I work my way around the planter, when I turn this, you'll be able to see that it's already starting to dry just a little bit. So this is some pretty quick drying concrete, so you have to work pretty fast. So yeah, I just continued to pat that on, going back and kind of filling in some of the places that I missed on that first pass. And that's all I'm doing here until I kind of got it the way I wanted it. As you can see, this bottom edge still was kind of left exposed. I'm gonna go back and fill that in. Here we go. Yeah, this was pretty easy, and it came out actually pretty good. Okay. I did start with the small planter. In my mind, I really started with the small one because I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. And I was saying, if it doesn't come out right, I'm not going to mess the big one up. So that was one reason I started with the smaller planter first. But for $3, really, I couldn't go wrong. And just if you're wondering, you see that concrete that was gathered on the bottom of that small one. I did scrape some of that off before I left it out to dry completely. Here I am just cleaning up some of that concrete. Didn't want to waste that. Mixing that back in. And then I'm going to start on the larger one. You can see that crack that's running through. So I did start on both of them where the crack was because I wanted to hurry up and kind of secure that area so again it didn't break on me halfway through the process. This one went, I think, much faster than the first one because I kind of somewhat knew what I was doing by this point. So I was able to move a lot more efficiently on this second planter. And I imagine that although I wasn't trying to make any kind of pattern or design or anything of that nature, but you could absolutely do that if you wanted to. As you can see, it's dry. See how quick that is starting to dry? And that was a good thing because actually it helped my second, as I went around with the second pass, it helped it adhere to the planter a lot better. So here I am just filling in some of those places that I mixed in that first pass. And as you can see, both of these planters had the little velvet feet on the bottom. And so when I scraped those edges, those little velvet feet kept those little concrete edges from actually being and roughing up whatever surface you chose to set these on, which was great. And had they not been on there, I would have absolutely put some of those on the bottom. I'm filling in some kind of open places. As you can see, I noticed a spot there, so I went back and filled that in. Okay, so and it only took me about I would say 15 minutes max to do both these. So now what I'm doing after about a few hours of drying time, I did come in with I thought I had a clip where I showed you guys what I was using, but this is just a clear matte seal that you can pick up at your local Michael's, Lowe's, Hobby Lobby. Any of those type places should have this. It is just a sealant that I am spraying on to kind of lock that concrete in place. And I sprayed that on both those, and then I left that to dry. And as you can see, I did let the garage door up because this is heavily fumed, so it was really strong. So I let the garage door up so I didn't inhale any unnecessary fumes. But yeah, I sprayed this seal on here to just kind of lock that concrete in place. And this is also quick drying. And to ensure that it was actually doing what it was supposed to do. And I've used this seal before on another project. I ran my hand over them to make sure that no concrete was flaking or anything of that nature. So it actually did a good job. It secured that concrete in. And I did that all around again and let that dry for probably another couple hours just to be sure it was completely dry. Then I came in and a little bit later you'll see me using my black matte paint. You could very well leave these this concrete color, because once that sealant dried, it did turn back a light concrete gray color. But I'm going to have a lot of black accent once I move into my home, so I chose to paint these matte black. So here I am now starting to paint, and I only went around these maybe twice, not with a heavy coat because it was going on super easy. Obviously concrete is porous, so it was sucking up the paint, so didn't have to do a whole lot. And I wanted a little bit of that gray to kind of peek through, and you'll see that later, so I didn't saturate it with the black paint. Here I am doing the second pot. And I'll show you guys a little bit later in the video how I styled these up. Really quick project. Okay guys, so we're going to take a quick look at how I styled these up. If you remember in the previous video, I already had these little plant stands, so I just put some greenery in there, made a little quick arrangement. I'll go in and give you a closer look at the definition on the pots. Not sure if you can see. It's not smooth, and I didn't really want that smooth concrete look. And I love that they're not 100% solid black. You can see some of the gray peeping through. I love that. Here's the second one. And I love this kind of swirl design on this one. That is cute. Back out here. Really simple. Only took a few hours to do, and that includes drying time. The concrete was really quick drying concrete. Okay, so total cost of the project. The pots were about $325. The matte black paint from Lowe's was $6. And the concrete mix was, I think, about $5.88. So total cost of the project, about $15. Not bad for pots that would otherwise cost probably about $50 or so for that big one, and at least $30 or more for that small one. And that's finding a deal because they are extremely heavy. Okay, there's another look for you. You can arrange these any way you like. Okay guys, let me know what you think. Just a quick, simple DIY. It's a reminder to keep your eyes open when you're out. Always look at the clearance section because you never know what you'll find. Okay guys, thanks for checking out my channel and this quick DIY project. If you like this type content, drop me a comment and let me know what you think. And I can potentially do more of these. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And that wraps up today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.